Hello and welcome back everyone for part 3 of this Guts and Glory save with our starting club, Welling United. Tonight we've got for you a couple of games from the National League South, starting off with a visit to Tonbridge Angels. Before we get into that, shall we have a look and catch you up with how we've been doing over the last few games. So as you can see, we've played 3 games since we left off. After our 6-2 thrashing of Hemel Hempstead, and we're scoring goals. We are scoring a lot of goals. We're also conceding quite a lot of goals. We had a 2-2 draw with Chelmsford City, where we went behind, went ahead, and ended up throwing it away. Actually, no, we didn't. Look, you can see right here, they went ahead. We equalised. They went ahead again, and then we equalised again. And then Taunton was a very different story. Goals going all over the place. At one point, I think we were 3-1 up. Ended up 4-4. It was a very topsy-turvy game, and it shows our defence, despite having practically 6 men defending, we're not very good at it. So we're just going to try to go all out attack, and it did work in our last match against Havant and Waterlooville, a 6-1 win, and things starting to look a little bit better. We're currently 9th in the National League South, just outside the playoff places after 5 games. Our squad, we've found a couple of, well, we've got a superstar or 2. Tristan Abrahams is absolutely banging goals in for fun. 6 goals in 5 league games. Cameron Green has 4 assists from his 5 league games at left wing back. And Adam Roscoe, he's scored a couple of goals, but he's very disappointing. So he's been benched for this one. We're bringing in Alex McAllister, who's only got 1.5 stars of ability and not a great deal of potential. He's on loan from Aldershot Town. But in his couple of appearances, he has scored a couple of goals. So we're going to give him a chance to start a match and see how he gets on. In transfer news, we have, well, we've not done a huge amount, but we have managed to bring in Kian Flanagan to help shore up that midfield. He's good in the Mazzala role, can play a box-to-box role if we need him to. And we've not made any further movement out of the club. However, we have transfer listed Amadou Kazarati. He's a right winger who probably isn't good enough for this club anyway, but certainly doesn't fit into the style of play we have developed. So we are still going with the 5-3-2. As you say, 6-man defence. We are really, we should be quite well set up to defend against most clubs, but turns out we're not very good at that. We're just going to change this guy's role here. So, line up for today's game, our first game against Tonbridge Angels, is Winterbottom and goal, who I've actually been quite critical of in the first couple of episodes. He had his last game against Havant and Waterlooville was actually quite good, conceding just the one from a pretty much point blank range shot. But making a few good saves, so starting to work his way into my good books. We've got a back 3 of Dickinson, Birchall, who comes into the team into starting 11 for the first time today, and Brian Waugh. We've got Green and Lima as our wing backs. Lima again, first start. We've only just actually played a match. So we played on the Saturday, and it's now the Monday. So we've got 2 very close together back-to-back games. Well, I mean, I don't want to mimic a number of top flight managers and complain about the fixture list, but that is ridiculous. So we're playing 2 games within 48 hours, and that doesn't quite seem right to me. But there you go. That's what we're doing. Papadopoulos is starting at the base of the midfield there. Odesanya and White in central midfield. And then an attacking 2 of Abrahams as our pressing forward. And actually, we're going to make him an attacking pressing forward. And McAllister as the supporting target man. So let's get into the match. I'm hoping that we can continue our winning form. I mean, we haven't lost since the first game of the season, which is impressive. 2 of those games have been draws, however. And draws where it could have gone either way. There's just goals all over the place. So I'd quite like to control the game in the same way we did in our last one against Havant and Waterlooville. We did go, I think it was 3-0 up before Havant and Waterlooville finally scored a goal. ended up being 6-1. That's the kind of match we want to see today. So let's see how we get on against Tonbridge Angels. Wonderful name. Hopefully, we can be the Devils to their Angels. Welling United, who I think are nicknamed the Wings. But let's see if our Wings can beat theirs. And, well, I mean, Winterbottom there, just proving what I've said about him in the last match. He has some great shot-stopping ability. He hasn't always shown it. He's been quite weak at times. But in the last couple of matches, and right there, you saw he's proving to be quite the addition. That's the word I'm looking for. Struggling for words. Quite the addition to our squad, and hopefully he can keep up this good form as Tonbridge have yet another corner. And I mean, the ref has seen a penalty in there somewhere. Goodness knows what he saw. But White is booked for it as well, and Winterbottom unfortunately cannot stop the penalty. Well, that's a shame. We're going to encourage him, and our form has been up and down. It has. We've 4 matches unbeaten, 2 wins, 2 draws. But I don't think that tells the whole story. We've conceded an awful lot of goals, but let's hope that our goal scoring ability continues and we're able to get ourselves back into this one quite quickly through Lima on the right wing, and it's into McAllister, who smashes one into the top corner. And for a player who, I mean, I was considering cancelling his loan contract, actually. He has shown himself to pop up with goals just when we need them. So he's against not against all odds, but against many odds, he is pushing his way into the first team ahead of Roscoe, who has scored a couple of goals, but he is very disappointing in every other aspect of play so far. In the last match, he misplayed so many passes. I just got fed up with him and subbed him at about 50 odd minutes. So McAllister is doing everything he can to make that starting place his own. Abrahams has been quite anonymous in this half so far. Let's hope he can turn that around quite quickly. I can see Cameron Green is exhausted, so we might need to make a fairly early change in this second half. We still only have him as our left wing back choice. We've got the lad we've got, I think, on loan from Leyton Orient, who, yeah, I mean, he's not great, but isn't on the bench because he's been injured up until now. So we have got Will Wood on the bench, who could come on at left wing back and play a bit of a part there. But as we're going on about that, they've gone and scored again. It's 2-1 to Tonbridge, and this is what I mean. It's disappointing to see so many defenders back there, and we're getting cut open by, well, just a ball over the top, really. Who's this? Brian Wars just lost his man, let him get beyond him, and unfortunately Birchall can't get across to cover. So 2-1 to Tonbridge, and we've not really looked like the equals of Tonbridge in this game so far. Let's hope that we can turn that around now. Birchall puts it forward for McAllister, who looks a million miles offside, but it's not, and that's actually a really good save. I mean, well, does Roscoe score there? I guess is the question I should be asking myself. But the second corner comes to pretty much nothing. Back out to Green, who lumps it forward, and their keeper comfortably comes to take it. Well, Green, I think, he's probably run his race. There's only so long we can carry on with him there, so we're going to get him off to bring on Will Wood, who we hope can play an adequate deputy role there. Lewis White hasn't looked at his best, so we're going to bring on Kian Flanagan, and I'm going to bring on Roscoe for Tristan Abrahams, who has not looked at his best, and probably we need to just change things up. Apologies for another abrupt cut there. My daughter decided to come and visit. So let's get these substitutions made and see if we can. Let's not give them silent treatment. See if we can turn this around. We're going to go attacking. I do think that our strength is in going forward. It may well be that attacking becomes our default mentality, more to cover for the fact we are absolutely horrendous at defending and better at going forward. So we might as well try and play to our strengths. We're going to demand more, and let's see if anyone responds to that. But it is Tonbridge with the corner, and a good save again from Winterbottom. That looked like a bullet header, but Winterbottom collects it low down quite well and launches it forward for our counter-attack to absolutely no one. McAllister, though, does intercept, and now Flanagan lays it out for Lima. It's a good 1-2. Can he get the ball across into the box? He gives it back to Lima, who gives it to Roscoe, who heads it just over the bar. We are only in the National League South, so I think it's only 3 subs. Yep, but there are no more changes we can make, unfortunately. Some of those were kind of forced on us, but we'll see if the lads who are out there have got it in the tank to just go and get one more goal. Again, a ball over the top does for us. We're not playing at a high line, and wow, Winterbottom has just undone everything good that he's done in the last couple of matches with another lazy lay down as the ball comes in towards him. I mean, if all he has to do there is stick an arm out. He sticks an arm out, that ball does not go in. Look, I mean, just put your arm out, just out a little bit, and that's not a goal. But as it is, he's let it go through. It's 3-1 to Tonbridge, and we are obviously losing this game. It's a shame. It is a shame. But we can't win them all. In our pockets. I'm going to point my finger. Oh, no, I'm not. Going to thrash arms. Let's thrash arms. I like a bit of thrashing. It either motivates them or upsets them. It looks like most of them were relatively happy with that team talk. Right, so we have next. Who do we have next? We've got St Albans City next. And that match has dropped us down to 12th, which is still ahead of where the media predicts us to be, and keeps us just in the top half, which is what the supporters want. So as long as we don't slip too much further, I think we'll keep everyone happy. We are now going to jump into the second game against St Albans on, I think it's on the Saturday. So we'll see you then. Well, I've got a little bit of transfer news for you. We have, in the last week, sold one player, Amadou Kasarati, who we put on transfer list, has gone to ASCE Linguere, who I think are in Senegal, for £240. I mean, he's off the wage budget. That's the main thing there. That's a player who otherwise would not have managed to get into our team in any way, shape or form. But we have also brought in a couple of loans. We've got Lacan Torres from Watford. He is a striker with 2 stars of ability. Unfortunately, my scouts let me down a little bit there. I was expecting 3. He can play as a poacher, so he can probably be an adequate backup to Roscoe. And we have also brought in worth noting as well, Torres free, not costing us a penny. And we've also brought in Zek Obiero from Leyton Orient. We are paying his wages, but is definitely an upgrade in the defensive midfield position. Can also play as a central midfielder, so he's very much an upgrade and worth paying for. We're still in the hunt for a couple more free loans, or even think we can still afford one permanent signing. So we're still on the lookout for someone who can help to cover in the wing-back positions, and potentially someone who can play at centre-back as well. But I think that's probably the squad we are going with for much of the season. I mean, the good news in the National League South is there is no transfer window. So if someone does come up who is a better option than what we've got, and actually go back and get my assistant to rejig everything. Now we've made those signings. So now that we've got a whole season to play with, if good players do pop up and we can get them cheaply or even for free, we will go and make a move for them. But I think we're in a much stronger position than we were at the start of the season. Just lack a bit on the 2 wing backs. Emmanuel Kwachi, who is, he could well be an adequate backup, an understudy for Cameron Green, and Crossley Lima, who Again, might do a job, but I would like to upgrade there if at all possible. Just noting actually that Tristan Abraham's contract is up in January, and we have tried to offer him a contract, but he basically doesn't want to stay. So we're going to have 6 months or less than that now, probably 4 months of Tristan Abrahams, and then we're going to see him go. So we're going to have to look out for a replacement in January, but with his mammoth £550 wage every week, that should lead us to be able to sign someone fairly decent to replace him. Right, so let's jump into the next game against St Albans City. We are at home, and the team is as such. It's Winterbottom in goal, Bird, Dickinson, Brian Waugh across the back three, Green and Bramble on the wings. We've got Obiero making his debut at defensive midfield with White and Flanagan. I think it's the first time Flanagan will be on the screen. And then we've got Abrahams, and we'll give him Roscoe another chance. McAllister did obviously score in that last game, but I wanted Torres on the bench, and I thought Roscoe needs a chance to shine, really. So let's get into it and see if we can do a bit better than we did against Tonbridge. Couple of give Obiero number 4, and Torres can have that squad number. Give out a couple of squad numbers, and let's get into the game. I mean, we've been fairly good at home, and I'm quite hopeful that we'll be able to do the same here. St Albans, I think they're quite low down in the division at the moment, so I'd like to think this is a game we should be targeting for a win. Albans, yeah, look, 21st. This is a winnable match, even for us who are probably mid-table fodder for the game, for the season. And Abrahams he's got another goal. It was a deft little flick over the goalkeeper there. That's lovely. We're going to miss him when he goes in January. And well, we will keep trying, obviously, to get him to re-sign. But yeah, we are mid-table fodder, but St Albans have not looked good at all this season. And hopefully we can use matches like this to get ourselves just a little bit higher than our expectations from both the media, the board, and the supporters. So 1-0 to Welling. First shot, first goal. Not too much about it. Now, can we defend a set piece is the question. We have conceded a few goals from set pieces, but Bramble does very well. I'm not sure who that is charging out, but he's kind of missed the ball entirely, and well, that was close. It came off the post. I didn't know if that was offside. I saw lots of hands raised, but it hit the post and it went out for a goal kick. So obviously not offside. We have a second corner to defend, and it's headed away well. But Josie, I don't know how we just let him run in. I mean, someone should teach our centre-backs to not head the ball back to the corner taker. I wonder whose job that is. Well, I'll find out, and I'll make sure that person is made well aware of their roles in making sure that they don't do that. And then, unfortunately, Roscoe is the man who's trying to mark the corner taker there. And he's a striker, and at best, he's a poacher. He doesn't really do a lot in the game, so he might not be the best man to have out there trying to tackle someone. But it is now 1-1 against a team who, as I've said, we should be beating, and it's yet another corner for St Albans here. And are we going to head it back out to him? No, we are just about going to get away with one. No. Well, we are going to go attacking, even though it's very early, and we are going to demand more because we should be winning matches like this, but that is horrendous. And to give him the free header, and then for Roscoe again, just to loop the ball up to the man waiting on the edge of the box. And it's a very good goal. I'll give him that. It's a very good goal. But Roscoe, I'm really losing patience with that boy. For a man who's in the team as a poacher, he's only got a couple of goals. And when he does get involved in the rest of the game, he usually stuffs something up. In this case, he gave away a goal, but more often than not, it's a misplaced pass somewhere. He gives away possession. So I'm not sure we're going to see much more of Roscoe. He is on loan, so we might be able to give him back. But I'm doubting his star rating as well. He's just not done anything for us at all so far. We have won a corner here, and it's going to be taken by Cameron Green. In swinger to the near post, and no one's there to meet it. Didn't beat the first man, but it's back out to Green. who cuts it in for Flanagan, who smashes it into the bottom corner from the edge of the box there. And a belated knee slide from Flanagan. That was, I mean, he didn't, I don't think he even had a run up to do that. It's impressive that he's managed to slide that far on his knees from a standing start. But more impressive is the goal. Lovely little layoff from Green there. And first time here into the bottom corner. And we have our equaliser. We're going to stay attacking because we want to go on and win this game. But first, we're going to face yet another corner. Can we defend this one a little bit better than we did last time? Dickinson this time heads it outwards, not straight back at the corner taker. But we don't defend in the slightest. And it is back in the goal. However, referee line. What wonderful people you are. Thankfully, that's offside, and we are given a reprieve. So it's still 2-2 somehow. The free kick there went straight to St Albans player, but thankfully they lost the ball. And it's now Flanagan through for Roscoe, and he couldn't redeem himself in the shape of a goal there. 2-2, and this one has been end-to-end stuff. Lots of St Albans set pieces, which we're struggling to defend. We seem to be able to defend the first ball most of the time, but the second ball we are far too slow to get out to. Ball forward for Roscoe, who takes it out wide back for Bramble, and it's White with a golden chance, and he's put it wide. When that's a chance. He's completely free, pretty much on the penalty spot. You want to be screaming goal there, and we don't know how to defend. That is pretty right. We're going to berate them. It's worthy of being berated. That the goalkeeper's absolutely no man's land. He's neither come to collect the ball nor stayed back to stop the shot. No one beats their man to the header. All right, we're gonna do a bit of thrashing of arms. We should be beating St Albans, but unfortunately, our complete inability to defend is throwing us. An XG there, 1.25 versus 1.26. We are not giving away more chances. In fact, we're creating more chances than St Albans are, but we just don't seem to be able to take them. And they are scoring pretty much every time they get forward. Right, time for some changes. I think Roscoe has had his time. That's pretty much his career done here, I think. Obiero is struggling to get into the game, but it is his first match with us. We're going to leave him on for a little while longer. I mean, we haven't really got anyone on the bench who can change the game here. Do I think we let it ride. We'll see what happens. I mean, we just don't have the depth. We don't have the attacking players. I mean, maybe McAllister should be on the bench as well. Maybe that's what we need going forward. Fewer defenders on the bench and more strikers. And St Albans there with yet another opportunity. We are really, really struggling to stop them getting into our box. We're not going to encourage them yet, but we will encourage them soon. Okay, long throw. Can Bramble do something with this long throw? It's very short for a long throw. Goes out to Dickinson, our centre-back, who probably isn't the man you want taking that chance, and he fires it wide. Right, Green is tired, so he can come off for Will Wood. I mean, we could potentially look to... We could try a little 4-4-2 here. Maybe a diamond. We get Dickinson off. Bring these guys back to a fullback position. Get Dickinson off for Andrews and put White. Who's better in there? We put Flanagan in there in the attacking midfield position and see if we can get forward now. That makes the idea of wing play quite difficult, doesn't it? But I guess we'll go with that. We won't focus because we've not got any men down there. We'll try this. What's the worst that can happen? We're going to give them some encouragement and hope that's enough to get us back into this game. Tammy Abrahams, I wish. Tristan Abrahams, the man taking the corners still, which doesn't really feel like the right person. And I don't know what our centre-back is doing there. He's just stepped up even though he's the opposition player is dribbling the ball past him. And thankfully, we get away with it. Still 3-2 to St Albans, and it's not going fantastically in this episode, is it? I've said our form has been sketchy. The 2 wins and 2 draws we had before this wasn't really the story. The story here is that we are not very good at football sometimes, but we do have an equaliser through Flanagan. The change has been quite instantaneous, but it has been effective, putting another man forward behind the 2 strikers, and fantastic goal for us there. White over the top for Andrews, playing out as a Mazzala. And Torres with, we'll call that a dummy, shall we? And Flanagan the man to finish it. And it's 3-3, and we are going to we're going to encourage them again, because we're going to push forward and see if we can get a winning goal. Anything less than 3 points is something of a failure in a match like this. And it's now Tristan Abrahams again with the corner. Can he find someone on the end of it? He's taking his sweet time. It's in towards the centre. It goes all the way across. Bramble does recover the ball, though. Out for Wood. White. And I'm not sure what's happened there. Is that an own goal? It is. It's an own goal, and it's 4-3. Right, we're going to stop for a second. We're going to go cautious. I don't really do cautious, but feel the need to here. We're going to slow down play. We're going to slow down the tempo. We're just going to try and waste as much time as possible, because we're actually ahead at last. And I know how Football Manager works. It will punish us. We will concede a goal if we don't make some sort of change. So I'm hoping if we can just sit back a little bit, we will find a way to get through to full time with the 3 points. And that's exactly what we've done. Well, we've got quite fortunate there. It was the final stats. We should have scored. I mean, we scored more than we should have, but we certainly shouldn't have conceded as many as we did. But we got the win that I think we just about deserved in the end. There's still so much work to be done in our defence to try to first stop those chances happening, but in stopping to conceding all of those goals, because it's just far, far too many. Far too many. But let's see. We're saving the game right now. We'll see where that's left us in the National League South. So we are 10th, which is better than I think we started. I think we were 12th when we started the episode. So 10th is an improvement. 1 win, 1 loss. We've got a second qualifying round of the FA Cup match coming up. Have we got any derbies? No. Okay. I think we'll come back at the start of October then. We'll do Farnborough here and Averley. We'll come back for those 2 matches, and hopefully we'll have some relatively okay form in between, and maybe a 3rd qualifying round. I think we'll skip the FA Cup matches until we get, if we get into, say, the 4th qualifying round and the FA Cup proper. So we will jump forward to Farnborough and Averley, and I will hope to see you then. Thanks very much for dropping by. If you did enjoy that, give it a like, and please do subscribe so you are notified when new videos come along. Take care, everyone.